Bit of an up-and-rising mercenary company. Or brigand group. Done some work with them back in the day.
They hit hard.
He nods. They do. Although Jackson always gave him as good as double as good as he got.
I can imagine. But
Always
if we
good
would
sport.
have had him here, I doubt we would have gone. I doubt we'd have gotten nearly as hurt in the fight with them.
He shrugs. Yeah, but they didn't exactly stick around, Kravos. They made their way towards Carlisle, all the way out east.
Oh. That's
Yeah.
a good call. I imagine they'll find plenty of work there, or cause plenty of chaos.
Oh yeah.
Well,
There's always something to do in Carlisle to those that are open to how chaotic it is. How conniving the place is.
like, say, a newly liberated group of goblin sellswords.
He squints his eyes at you.
Very specific.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Although that's very specific.
Only Jin went after Roma, accompanied by some other notables. The rest of us, we had business with a goblin camp to the south and west of here.
Right. I heard the rumors around town.
Well, Badger got it in his head that they were redeemable, or at the very least that
He scoffs immediately.
you were preaching to the choir, as they say, but there was some merit in his tactic. He challenged their leader, their boss, to a duel, and beat him.
They actually agreed to a duel.
Wounded his pride.
Ah. Clever.
Regardless, Badger won the duel, but this strange sword that this little fucker had, it wasn't willing to let him go. Turned his cadaver into some kind of monstrosity.
He grimaces at that. Ugh.
Sort of reminded me of a shambler, though instead of mushroom growths, they were these weird crystalline structures. Regardless, we stormed in, put them down. Had to put down some of the other goblins as well, the ones that were too
Oh
weak.
no.
I know, really had to twist my arm, but what can you do?
Ah, that's crying shame.
But regardless, the majority of them were willing to accept Badger as the new boss. Call themselves Badger's bastards now.
So I take it then that you're on your way to Carlisle then with your new little goblin band.
No, they're going their own way. They are going to Carlisle, we're not.
Ah. What about audio heading?
Presses his lips together at that. Just pull his mask down, look off to the side like, don't rightly know yet.
Well, if you're wondering about, you guys can come with us. There's been some talks amongst the refugees about reassimilating into the fold. I think there's some business opportunities in Valtonia and the Venturi League, but he shrugs. I'm me, you're you.
Oh yeah, for guys, he's coatless right now.
You're naked, I know.
Oh no! You're heading to not Valtonia. You're heading to the Venturi League then.
Well, maybe. I think we're all trying to understand exactly what's left of Valcaster. And Valtonia by extension. See if there's anything we can rebuild. Although after that, Red Blast. I have my doubts. But people are hopeful, and hopeful people need protecting. For a dire price.
Ever the opportunist.
He shrugs. Not exactly keen on sticking my neck out for no reason. Unlike yourselves. He says with a chuckle.
He has a quirk at the corner of his lip, like, I had reason.
Well, just let me know. Maybe we could work out some sort of business partnership. I have some old contacts that went on the Valtonian side. Crime syndicates and things like that.
Which means they were evacuated to the League, yeah?
Most of them, But I heard there's one that stuck around in Valtonia, offering their services to the guardsmen there.
They're willing to accept.
Oh yeah. Desperate times brings people together. And he looks around conspiratorially and leans in towards you. And also gangs like getting in good graces of the community when natural disasters hit. So, he shrugs. Win-win.
Well, starting out at least.
He thinks for a moment. Tell you what, if you guys ever do make your way to Valtonia or what's left of it or whatever people got evacuated to the Ventura League, look up at Mr. Shane's. O'Shane's. He's a Farina Elmer, native of Elcaster, but he sinked his claws in good of a lot of different enterprises. He was small fry, but I think he's big fish now.
Well, when all the bigger fish scatter to the wind or get turned to dust, yeah, that will do that to someone.
Exactly.
For future reference, would we need to pass through Velcaster or Valtonia, Velconio to get to Eulonia?
You don't have to now.
Okay. But we could.
You could.
Yeah. Alright. But that's not relevant yet. Well, if you pass through, be sure to look him up. Should I drop your name? Do you know him?
He does like a shaky, like, I met him once. He's a proper gentleman. He'd definitely hear you out.
Couldn't have said that. Oh, that's good.
Not like Andreev.
Oh,
Andreev was all about whatever he wanted. Doing whatever he wanted in the short term, long term, whatever. Mostly short, right? When the apocalypse is on the door. Mr. Shane's, he's a long term sort of thinker.
Oh, thank the Emperor. Do a few of those recently.
People that have long term plans are usually scheming. And people that scheme aren't exactly the best sort of people.
It depends on where you stand with them.
True. He wags a finger at you. True. Very true.
Speaking of where we stand, he kind of tilts to look into the room. What are you doing here? I mean, not here in the town, but here in... Well, actually, why didn't you go with the others?
He shrugs. I wanted to save Arnie. I wanted to save the guards. And, well, you know.
Poor boy has it bad, huh?
He's proper smitten.
Relatable. But regardless, I suppose...
He corks an eyebrow that, like, at relatable, like, what?
Moving on.
Okay.
And why are you here at Liz's?
That guy, not the kid, the guy in there.
The tall one or the not tall one?
The guy in bed.
Oh.
Knew him. Once upon a time. Know of him, I guess. He thinks for a moment. I met him once. A while back. Years ago. Now. I'm not a particularly superstitious sort of guy. Or faithful. But, you know, it's a weird coincidence to see him out of the blue, being run through town by the Rangers. So, I follow. Then I see that kid just dropped off, and If I'm being honest, I'm gonna feel bad if I leave now.
Right. That poor fellow, the one we plucked from the goblin pit. Where did you see him?
I've done some work beyond Velcaster. Been down to Chafford. That's why I met that guy. Desperate. Yeah, what's up?
Which is a kind of far away from here.
Not particularly. Here we go on the map.
Okay, I was trying to gauge if this guy was with the goblins for a while.
Yeah, so you and Dahlia passed through Chafford before,
Right.
like, it's the southernmost town preceding Velcaster.
Mm-hmm.
So it's further from Velcaster than Kravos is, but it's not monumentally further, right? So if this is what, like 15 miles, Chafford's probably around here at like 20.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a bit off. But it's not like it's not impossible. People have traveled or gotten lost that far before.
Okay. And since the goblin camp was south of Kravos, it's about as close to Chafford. Is that right?
Chafford, yeah.
Yeah, about as close to Chafford as it is Kravos. Gotcha.
Chafford.
Hmm.
His name's Yosin. When I met him, he was a drunkard, desperate sort of guy, begging for coin, and not in a quiet sort of way, mind you. In a hollering sort of way.
No one likes a loud beggar.
Yeah, he shrugged. I felt bad for him. Gave him some coin. Shoot him off. Kicked him in the arse when he wouldn't take no for an answer.
Shame what happened to him. He looks into the room again. How do you think the goblins got their hands on him?
But that I can tell you. I mean, I can tell you he's dressed about the same now as he last saw him, but that's after he's been through this goblin camp, eh? So, since he's not buck naked right now, I assume he was better off since I last seen him, before the goblins sunk their claws on him. That's what the fuck he was doing out to the point where he's getting grabbed by goblins. Shakes his head. Can't tell you. I doubt his drunkard ways led him to the woods. There's no booze out in the woods after all.
Very odd. I imagine there's no one in Trafford, at least to your recollection, that would miss him.
He shakes his head. If they were, I didn't mean him.
Well, saves us the duty of trying to find his next of kin.
Yeah. Bad way to go. Being taken by goblins. But, well, as you said.
Falk nods emphatically.
Yes, indeed. But, as you said, better him than anyone else I actually cared. Had people that cared. What did you all save him?
He shakes his head like, "Oh, we didn't." Would Fayez be in that room or?
Yeah, he would be.
Yeah.
He's following me, essentially.
Right. That hooded fellow in there, he's the one that plucked him from the pit.
The Rossi fella. He shakes his head. Bleeding heart.
One of us has to be.
He shrugs. Fair enough. Although you might have just given him a longer term of death. He looks like shit. He smells like shit.
Well, he's used to it, I'm sure.
Fair point. Flicks a finger at you. Fair point.
And if there were any time for him to try and recover from something so terrible, there is an ash warden on site that is, I believe I overheard the terms medical expert.
He shakes his head like, I don't know what that one in there is, what that thing coming out of him is, but I wouldn't trust him with my life.
Well, you already sort of did. You and everyone else in Velcaster.
Yeah, I could have gone out by myself. he was protecting the groups of refugees. I definitely wouldn't want him tapping around in my head.
Well, on that we can agree, but sometimes desperate times
Yeah.
desperate measures.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Should probably shuffle back in there to see if he's tapped into the child anymore. Huh?
I'll stay out here. It's crowded enough as it is. I hardly said 2 words to the poor boy.
Look at you. Yeah. He fishes around into his pouch and produces a flask. Something to keep you warm tonight. I want that flask back before you go.
I'll be sure to return it. Danke. Take it from him.
He enters back into the room.
By the way,
Hmm?
he points at himself. Folk. Haskell doesn't exist.
He blinks a couple times. What other lies have you told me?
That I'm going to return this.
He gives you a look like, you son of a bitch, but I respect it. He walks out another room.
That was also a lie. I will return the flask.
Where will the lies end?
You sneaky dog.
What other lies has the council told me? Anakin, stop. So, meanwhile, in the room, what are y'all up to? Or do you guys sort of just wait for Francis to potentially maybe recover? Or not? I don't know. Maybe you guys want to leave. I don't know.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
The 5th level things. We do not have access to those yet. We need to rest first. Yes.
You guys have them.
Okay. Since that's the case, I would like to attempt to use lesser restoration on Sepsis guy. What's his name? Do we know
John
his name?
Sepsis.
You guys wouldn't have heard it yet.
Yeah, on the
On John Sepsis.
yes, on him.
Can we get a spelling of his name, by the way? Yeah, John Sepsis.
Yasin.
Yasin.
Card.
You go over to the man known as Yaza, not that you know that yet, and begin casting Luster Restoration on him. And as you do, you begin seeing a number of his wounds not close, but be sanitized. He begins to expel with a cough this sort of black, vile ichor that just sort of begins to dissipate as you continue and finish casting Luster Restoration.
Hell yeah. Sepsis cured! That was just John.
He begins to blink a couple of times and looks at you. Looks around. Where am I?
You're currently safe.
No more goblins around?
There's one, but he's friendly.
You sure?
Yes.
He looks at your hands that I just saw some faint glow about from healing or casting on him. And nods very shakily at you. Once, then twice. Okay. He begins looking around. This ain't a goblin camp, is it?
It is not.
Okay. Oh. My legs hurt. Something fierce. Do I still have him? He begins trying to push himself up. He's very tiredly doing it.
I help him.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Oh, my back. Oh, my stomach. My arms. It's all aching and scraping all over.
You've
Feels
been
sick.
through quite the ordeal. You're going to need plenty of rest and good food.
Oh, yeah, it's like, now I gotta deny any of that. He looks around. We're on Chafford, are we? Please tell me we're not on Chafford.
Fred is having a brain lapse. What's the name of the city we're in?
Kravos.
Kravos. Thank you. No, we're in Kravos.
Oh! Oh. Thank the light. the Newmans, and everyone listening.
What is
Oh.
your name?
I'm Yosin, friend. Holds out his hand very shakily. Yosin.
Yosin friend.
No, just Yosin.
Ah,
Your friend.
Oh, friend. Sorry, your accent is a little hard on my ears.
Oh,
I'm
my
not
mouth.
native.
A little off, yeah. They always be saying that to
Well.
me.
As you say. I hold out a hand. I'm Caradoc.
Caradoc. Caradoc. Pleasure, sir. Pleasure.
Oh, I'm not a sir.
Ma'am.
I'm not a ma'am either. I'm not a noble.
My pardons. My pardons, Caradoc.
Well, you see that man over there? Oh, actually, do I see him, Bias?
Yeah, he's standing. He's just. Mina is like sat in a corner with her knees tucked to her chest, and she's like wrapped her arms around her legs, and just sort of sitting there. Fides is standing next to her, not at attention, but in a very prim and proper-esque manner. So you do see him.
You see that man over there? Point to Fides.
Hi.
He is the one who extracted you from the goblin prison.
Oh, you're saints, you and him. And he looks like around, noticing how many people are. Anyone else? Help with that. Did you when you were dealing with them goblins and grabbing me? Did I drop anything, or did you find anything with me?
I have not rummaged through your belongings. I would not know.
Fact.
Are you missing something?
Yeah. Then if the goblins did something with it, or tossed it, or broke it, or something, but I figured I'd ask.
You know who might know? The goblin, the friendly one. Do you mind if I call him over?
You trust
He
him?
will not harm you. I do.
Okay. Okay.
Badger,
Yeah.
you got a moment?
Let it be known, Yazin in
I
this
got all the
conversation is not quiet, so you all hear him. So, Badger, you walk over to this individual who you heard from a distance is named Yazin. He just stares at you with this, like, sour look on his face, like, as you get closer and closer.
I was the distraction that saved you after noticing his face.
Okay.
I will allow me to make something very clear. Badger here, my friend, came with us from Velkester. He was not a member of the band that abducted, whatever they did to you. They now work for him. He'd killed their old boss.
We did. That one that wielded that cursed sword of his.
That's right. It was easy. Not a problem at all.
Really? Whew.
I mean, look at me.
That's...
Obviously.
You're stuck. Low HP? Did you run into something on the way back? That wasn't the
yeah,
goblins.
that's a whole different story.
Okay. Did you find a little well, there's two things. There's a little a tool. There's a little metal wiry looking thing, and along with it was a bottle of a pale see-through substance. You did not find anything of it. You did not see anything like that.
I didn't see anything like that.
Sorry. I saw one of those.
Next time I see him, I can ask.
No, it's
They have sentimental value.
He looks at you for a moment.
Not a goblin.
Not a goblin.
Not wearing a mask or anything, so he doesn't look as spooky.
Yeah. Where are you from? That's a cool accent.
Ryusen.
What's that? He looks at all of yours. What's that?
North and southwest.
Do you know where Eulonia is?
No. What's that?
Do you know where you are?
Prevos.
Oh,
Do you
good.
know what's north of Kravos?
No.
Do you know where north is?
He points directly directly ahead of him. That way.
He's right.
Right.
Damn, he did it.
But it
Well,
sounds like you're from far away, sir. It's a cool accent.
Yes, very, very, very far from here. But regardless of my accent, thank you, by the way. But why is this item important?
Oh, it's something I use to keep my spirits up.
He gives him a judgmental look of just I just said something. It's like, I feel you are hiding this information, but also you have no obligation to really tell me.
No, I'm not lying. I'm just saying.
Oh, I don't imagine you're lying. You're just very private about it, very guarded.
That's. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. He looks to you, Badger. Sniffs once, gets closer and sniffs again. You got moonshine on you.
Oh, right.
I do.
He licks his lip.
I-
How much?
I don't think you should have any.
I
I think you should see this as a learning experience.
I need to sanitize my insides. You guys see Eva in
don't
the
think
background
that's how
pinch
this
the bridge of her
works.
nose. Just like, oh my god, he's an idiot. Come on,
He's
man.
unbearably alcoholic.
I tell you what. Let me have a little bit, and I can tell you where my still is. And you can, if you're willing to make your way out there, you can go have a little bit yourself, or make some yourself.
If I drink it, will I go blind?
No.
That is extremely,
Unless you want to.
extremely reassuring.
Unless you want to go blind.
Unless we want to.
Give me the recipe on how to make it, and you got a deal.
Roll persuasion.
He did save this man's life.
You get advantage and disadvantage, so thus the neutral.
Oh, come on.
That's pretty good. Oh. God, I can smell the moonshine before I agree to this.
Badger will hold out his
He wafts
hold
it.
out his bottle.
He wafts it like a fucking sommelier, like fans the scent into his nostrils. Oh, that's a good one. Nice and strong. Alright. He gestures for you to come closer and begins whispering too. That's what is that? A potato. That's potato. He gives you instructions on how to. At a basis, it's similar to vodka, but as he describes additional ingredients he adds to it, you're not quite sure what it mutates into in terms of drinkology.
Burn wine, call it.
You're
Roll
wondering
rot
if something like that, yeah, not as bad as Goblin Rot Gut. This does sound like a bit more flavorful, but the thing is, the flavors are so contrasting and conflicting that it's probably gonna feel like you just, I don't know, like ate a fruit salad and then vomited it back up or something like that. It's gonna be weird. It's like halfway between vodka and monkey wine.
What the fuck is monkey wine?
It's when monkeys find fruit and leave it inside a hollow thing in a tree and let it ferment.
That's a thing.
Yes, it's an actual
Yes.
thing. Monkeys are smart enough to ferment and make alcohol.
Baller, actually.
Reindeer too. Except they just eat the berries.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
crazy.
Well.
Yeah, fun fact. There you go. So you now have learned a recipe for what do we call it? We call it forest juice. Tree juice.
As per the terms, I will pour him a glass.
Oh, he begins like almost like a dog doing tippy tappy. Like he begins like patting his like.
Oh my god!
Like oh baby. To Caradoc, he is 100% addicted. He is thoroughly an alcoholic, and you're not sure if it's wise. It's a weird middle ground. His body's not immune system, but its ability to maintain homeostasis, its ability to stay quote unquote healthy, might be compromised because he's also going through withdrawal symptoms. But also, is it maybe Badger's right? While he's suffering the worst of the worst, maybe now's the time to break the addiction. That or it'll make his condition worse.
Only one way to find out.